Hello, hello, and welcome to the first episode of Opinion or Opportunity. My name is Don Gringo. You heard it right, Don Gringo, and I am your host. So today I'm going to give you an introduction to the channel and the things that we will be doing here. So the show is all about giving you my opinion and trying to find opportunities in current event issues, such as maybe world news, politics, gaming, which I am a big fan of, and obviously technology. So moving forward here, just got to let you know that these are my opinions. And as far as my background, I guess I am no one special. I have owned multiple small businesses, taught martial arts, been in the military, done a lot of different things. So I guess I am just an average guy who's had some success and wants to share and maybe help people move forward and see if we can find some common ground on some things. So I just have to make you aware these are my opinions once more, and you may get offended. So moving forward, just be aware. So with that said, the next sound you're going to hear is going to be my alarm. This is your opportunity to leave the channel. These will be my opinions and my opinions only. They may offend, they may hurt, but I got to say that I'm not here to offend or hurt, but if I am, and if I do, I'm sorry. So I'm giving you the chance to opt out now. So here we go. Okay, you heard the alarm, and here we go. So first up the bats, of course, is the most obvious choice if we want to offend people or possibly insult people, which we're not looking to do. We're just trying to give a fresh perspective, or maybe a new different perspective, or maybe just an old perspective that we just forgot about because we're just too passionate about the things that we're doing. So let's go over the first one, which obviously is politics. Now, the state of politics today is laughable at best. And I'm trying to laugh because if I don't laugh, I'm going to cry. And I'm sure we've heard that terminology before, but let's really go over it. So we got the left going extreme left. We got the right going extreme right. We got the people in the middle not knowing what to do and finally getting fed up. And you see them now going to the streets and going to the streets with their guns. So, you know, I really think we need to discuss what we're doing and how we're going to do it and move forward from here. So with that being said, I guess my thing on politics is real simple. I am what you would call an independent. I believe myself to be an independent, though I do lean on issues. So let me be straight about this. So when I say I lean on issues, I am pretty liberal when it comes to prostitution. And I say that and I mean that. Now, when it comes to my First and Second Amendment rights, well, I'm pretty damn conservative. Don't step on my free speech. Don't step on my ability to assemble and many other things. And obviously, don't step on my guns. Don't step on anyone else's guns, especially now in the time when people are trying to defund the police. Really, people, what are we doing? We really need to take a step back and go forward from here in a positive light. No, we need to remember, and I think we do need to remember that if you're talking to someone across the aisle, maybe someone who's different on views, those views aren't the total views, and we have a lot in common. Now, what I mean by that is it's real simple. I believe that we all want what's best for our family. We want to keep them safe, provide the best education we possibly can provide, give them opportunities in life that we didn't have. I mean, there's a lot of things when it comes to family, I think that we can all agree on. If we can't agree on certain things when it comes to family, you're probably a scumbag. Just saying it, not trying to insult anyone. Again, my opinion. I think we should all want what's best for family. Now, with that being said, I myself have certain individuals in my life where those family members are just too hard to deal with. And we kind of don't deal with them. And, we have differences in opinion on things, and that's where we are today, and that's why I'm here. So my opinion isn't better. You got to do what you got to do. But I think for the most part, I think everyone in general can agree on that. So When it comes to politics as well, I think we got to worry about, the left going too far left. And what I mean by that is, you have a lot of Democrats who are more centrist in their things, and they're willing to compromise and talk to people. But the left has just taken over the party. And it's like, really, people, I just don't feel as an independent that I could vote Democrat this year because of the fact of, if you're left of left, you're right. And I don't think anyone should be labeled in that way. And we really got to take a look at that, and we really got to get that under control. When it comes to the right, oh my God, we have our right wings, and, we have Trump, and when it comes to it, Trump's there for a reason. And the people voted for him, and it wasn't because they wanted a politician. It was because they didn't want a politician. Now, I'm the first one as a former soldier, martial artist and things, when it comes to respect and courtesy and whatnot have you, it's there, it's ingrained. And, I look at this at a totally different level. I think Trump does some good things, and other things like Twitter, he should just keep his mouth shut. You're there to be president. You're not there to be the ringmaster of a circus. This isn't a circus. This is the United States of America. This is where you're supposed to represent everybody. Now, with that being said, and you getting a better understanding of where I stand on politics, I think there is a middle ground. I think we can all compromise, and I think we need to get there. I honestly believe that the politics of today, especially when it comes into the racism and portion of it, I talk to a lot of people. I'm fortunate to live near a military base. And though most people say, well, living near a military base can have higher crime and things of that nature, sure it does. But when it comes to a family dynamic, when it comes to a community diversity, you ain't going to find nothing more diverse than a military installation where you have military families. These people have traveled the world, found love everywhere else under the sun, brought their wives and children back home, and, they're mixed. And, we've really got to start looking at, where we are today when it comes to this. The old politics, the old racism, the old this, the old that, they're no longer there. If you're in your 60s and 50s, you definitely, experience racism, things of that nature. But your 7-year-old grandchild who's probably mixed, or definitely around a lot of mixed children, they're not experiencing it the same way you did. Time is taking over. Time is changing things. We can no longer look at racism the way we used to. And I think we need to understand that that old thing of children are the future. Children are the future. Leave them alone. You need to stay out of it. You need to turn around and make it better for them. Not better for yourself, because you've already experienced it and life is getting better. If you're holding on to the old hatred, I hate to say, you might need a little counseling. And if you're left leaning and you think the world is just against everyone under the sun and all white people are bad, we wouldn't have made any changes if there wasn't good white people too. So you got to really take that into account, because I have, a lot of people that I talk to, definitely different, nationalities, some that are actually, citizens and some that aren't. Let me explain that. My wife is a first generation immigrant from Mexico. No, I didn't marry her till she was 33 years old and brought her here legally. She's not from here, and she has a very unique, experience and perspective when it comes to topics like this. So just be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you're trying to get out of this. The politics and the things that we're going to discuss moving forward, I definitely think I have a unique perspective because I've been in the military. I live around a military installation. I'm married to a first generation immigrant. I am not saying I'm left-leaning, and I'm not saying I'm conservative. I just think there's a middle ground, and I think my wife proves that with some of the things that she believes in and some of the things that we talk about. So we're going to move on from that, and we're going to go into the next topic, which is gaming. And let me tell you, man, I cannot tell you how excited I've been and how disappointed I've been with the gaming, industry this year. I'm just a little, going to go over it. So I've been gaming, and I started with the original Atari. I'm not that old. My father actually had one, and that's where we started until the original Nintendo came out. Now, I will tell you, I pretty much had every console growing up, from Nintendo 64, Sega Genesis, you name it, PlayStations. I've been there, I've had them. So I've recently, and I mean recently because I am actually doing this podcast on a brand new rig, decided to start gaming on a PC. So this whole master race situation when it comes to PCs, let me tell you something. It's a different story. Now, there's definitely some benefits and there's definitely not. When it comes to console, I think the intro into consoles are a lot more affordable, though the games are obviously a lot more expensive. So I guess the cost is spread out. If you want a good gaming PC rig, it can be obviously more expensive than a console. I'm not going to lie, and I'm not going to sit there and tell you I didn't spend a lot of money on my rig, because I did. But the games I'm into these days, let's start off with the first one. I'm into Modern Warfare. I think there's a lot of people out there who are in Modern Warfare, but when it comes to gaming, especially in Modern Warfare, there's a lot of cheaters. And now with me getting a PC, I gotta be honest, I was swearing up and down about those PC players and the cheating. But I think there's a lot of information that people aren't looking at, and I think they just get upset. There are some great people out there. If you look on YouTube, Jack Frags, and who's done some, research lately that shows if you're in a console and most of the people in your lobby on console, the average is going to be about 5% PC players. And you got to look at the statistics, and you got to see, it's not every lobby would be 5%, but he kind of breaks it down. So I encourage console players who feel right now where hacking is a big thing. It is a big thing. Recently, I watched a video with Tim the Tap Man and his crew doing a $100,000 tournament, and there was a hacker in there. Now, if you're $1 billion company and you cannot keep hackers out, we got a problem. Truly got a problem when it comes to that. So Activision, you need to look at this Infinity Ward, because honestly, the update here, Season 5 is up here, and I haven't played one bit of it, and I don't know if I want to at this point. And I went from console to PC, and I definitely have a different learning curve to do. So I think people need to, when it comes to Modern Warfare, I think you need to do your research. I think you need to find where you're at. It's a game that you love to hate and hate to love. So next game I'm into is the old Star Wars, the Old Republic. This is probably the game that I'm learning to play on PC the best, because it's not as fast-paced, and it is a lot more manageable when you're coming to learn how to do those moves and adjust from hand to keyboard instead of controller. So that one I'm having a lot of fun. I know it's an older game, but people should really take a look back at it and go at it. Of course, the game, I got to admit, this is one of the games, the reason why I bought the console in the first place. I definitely got Escape from Tarkov. And let me tell you, people, if you're into gaming, you need to take a look at Escape from Tarkov. It is not an easy game. It's in its beta right now. People can buy it. They are doing a lot of things, man. A lot of things. It's a lot of fun. It's a very in-depth game. I mean, you really have to be into that kind of stuff. I recommend you definitely go to YouTube, you check it out, and go from there. Now, the next thing I want to touch upon is upcoming games. So I'm not sure exactly about the release date. I'm not sure if anyone is at this point, but the one thing I did register for was Ashes of Creation. One game I really do recommend you do take a look at. It seems like it's more community driven. It's more of a medieval times game, but it's not in the same type of game mechanics that I've seen in a very long time, or ever, actually. So I would go and look at that. It looks like it's more of a Civilization meets Skyrim, meets many different things, and I think it's very exciting. I think you should definitely look at that. And speaking of Skyrim, I'm waiting for Skyrim 6. I think everyone is too. Anyone who's been a fan of the franchise, I think they're going to be really looking forward to that. I don't think there's a release date on that either, which is a terrible thing to say. So the exciting part of this industry is that, yeah, we have a lot of things going on, a lot of things coming up. And especially during a pandemic, I think we definitely need these games to release sooner than later, but we definitely need them in good quality. I mean, there's been some horrible, horrible releases on some very, very good games that should have been better than they were. Another thing that's up and coming as well is obviously Anthem 2.0. I was a major fan until the in-game content on Anthem. I thought it was great, the flight mechanics and how everything worked, the javelin. I mean, you get to be Iron Man for a day. Who doesn't want to be Iron Man in all those different types of suits with abilities? So I really did enjoy that game. I'm very excited. I've been watching YouTube, and there's some YouTube channels there, Your Anthem, things like that on YouTube that you should definitely check out. It seems like they've been listening to the community. There's a lot of heavy changes coming. It looks like they went right to the drawing board and really redid it. So if you're into gaming, I would definitely check that out. It seems like that's coming and it's going to be on its way, and it's going to be good. So let's move on to the next topic. Now, listen, I am sure everybody has their own preference when it comes to gaming PCs and things they're going to do. And if you listen to hardcore people, you ain't a gamer or a PC guy until you build your own. Listen, I didn't build my own. I did buy the components. I did have someone else actually build it, though it's not a off-the-shelf PC. So this is my first PC. This is allowing me to do everything I'm doing with you today, and obviously what I'm going to be doing with the gaming. I'm going to be streaming on Twitch, streaming on DLive, streaming on a few different sources, just to have some fun. And if you like me here and you just want to reach out and have some fun and you're into gaming, then I would definitely tell you to reach out to me. I go under the name Don Gringo there. And, I did say Don Gringo up front, but we never really got into that. So with that being said, how we actually did it, and it's, I guess, a good transition from gaming into the technology sector, is my wife, actually, I lost a bet to her. And I was actually under a different gamer tag. So when I lost a bet, I turned around and said, okay, what am I going to be? And I was Don Gringo from there out. Don Gringo the Firecracker. Or Firecracker, actually. So, yeah, I've stuck with it. It was given to me by my wife. And it kind of, it got to be okay after a while. But, it was one of those things when it comes to another culture. When I first met my wife, she used to call me Gordito, which is like, a lovingly way of calling someone fat. Now, I wasn't fat at the time. I did have a little extra weight because I wasn't working out as much. But yeah, it was her way of saying like lovely fat or something, and I took it as an insult. So I had to learn to accept a lot of things in life when you marry someone from another culture. So I've been with her 10 years, so obviously I'm not getting rid of her anytime soon. So when it comes into technology, I went out and I went to a local vendor here in Central Texas. He's over in Harker Heights. His name is Greg. He's over Extreme Systems. I think if you're looking for someone who's going to be honest with you when it comes to your budget and how to best maximize it, I would tell you to reach out to them. I walked in, I had all these crazy ideas, crazy concepts, and he basically talked me out of everything that I wanted. So when it came to my PC, when I originally walked in, and I'm not going to lie, I told him I wanted everything performance-based, but later I said, ooh, this one looks pretty, and yeah. Well, now I got some RGBs and stuff in there, so this is my first build. We can go over it. So I got a Musatex 907 mid-tower case with the 6 RGB LEDs, fans, and remote. I got the Thermal Take Smart 700 watt ATX power supply. I got the Ryzen 9 3900 12 core. Yeah, I went big boy there. I wasn't going to downgrade on that. And as far as the gaming board, let me see here. We went with the Asus Prime B550M-A. So it's got a Wi-Fi in it and everything. As far as the next thing, we definitely went with 2 packs of the XPG GameX D30 16 gig packs. So I got 32 gigs of RAM in there. Let me tell you something. This thing flies. I'm looking at speeds of 3.79 on this thing. So this thing is great when it comes to that. So rocking a Western Digital 1 terabyte SSD. And I went with a Western Digital Blue 4 terabyte actual mechanical hard drive for storage purposes, obviously. I'm not going to sit there and try to pull anything out of that, but it's there. So we've got the EVGA PowerLink cable, and then we went with the EVGA GeForce RTX 2070 Super on this one. And the reason why I went with the Super, I walked in and wanted a 2080 Ti. And first, they've been hard to get in this area. And secondly, I guess the 3080s are going to be coming out here shortly. So why go with the 2080 when, here shortly I'm going to want to upgrade to a 3080. So that's probably the one thing I definitely felt the worst about. But I'm running this, and I can definitely tell you it flies. Obviously, this is got a Cooler Master liquid cooled on this RGB, the whole 9 yards. I went with that. It's rocking the Windows Professional. I went with the Cooler Master keyboard, the MS110 mechanical gaming keyboard. Let me tell you something. This thing weighs a ton. I mean, if you're going to be smashing keys or anything, this is definitely the mouse and keyboard that you want to have if you're going to be definitely smacking stuff around with it. When it comes to the I have to tell you, I got this gaming mat that's stupidly huge from Main Gear. It's just crazy. And instead of doing HDMI, I'm doing a display port on this. And of course, I do have a gaming monitor, 27-inch. So I'm going to be getting a second one here shortly so I can have the dual monitors. But that's pretty much what we got here, other than obviously my battery backup. So if you have any suggestions when it comes to what I'm using, if you think there's something better or something I can upgrade to or change out, by all means, let me know. You can always reach out to me at opinion.opportunity@gmail. You can find me on Opinion or Opportunity on Twitter, and of course opinion.opportunity@gmail at Google Hangouts. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to wrap up this show, just to give you an introduction to myself, what you can look forward to as far as topics we're going to touch on. I appreciate any and all support. Please share it. If you like the way I handle things and what I'm doing, I'm trying to be respectful. I'm trying to make it so that we can all understand each other and get along, and the world will be a nicer place. You know, when it comes to topics, I would definitely love you to reach out and let's really get into it. Send me some stuff. I'll read it on air. We can talk about it, have a discussion. Send me what you think. Let's do this. Let's come to terms. Let's have some fun. Let's do it in a respectful manner. I think, there's nothing better than have a conversation, and if you're going to challenge yourself and you're going to talk to someone who you have a hard time talking to, you got to remember one thing. You're not listening to respond to them. You're listening to hear them. You can't change someone unless you find common ground, because you have to be able to know they're going to accept what you hear. So when you look at all these politicians out there and they're yelling back and forth at each other, they're failing to do their job. And remember that. They're failing to do their job. And they just need to be voted out. So thank you so much. I will talk to you later. And it was my personal pleasure to be able to sit down and do this with you today. I will make sure that when it comes to this channel, I try to keep it authentic as possible, yes, with all my mistakes and whatnot have you. And we will go from there. So thank you so much. God bless.